East Africa's population? Almost 500 million by the year 2050. That's 500 million people in just one region. In Ethiopia alone, there are already 125 million citizens. It's Africa's second most populous country, and still growing. With more people comes more disease. The rise of non-communicable diseases is now East Africa's fastest growing healthcare crisis. Diabetes cases are up by 129% since the year 2000. Hypertension affects 1 in 3 adults. Cancer deaths are expected to double by the year 2030. But here is the problem. Most treatment for these conditions are still imported and still expensive. When 80 to 90% of your medicines come from abroad, you have no leverage, no price control, no production timelines, no guarantees. You're at the mercy of someone else's supply chain. This leads to shortages, stockouts, skyrocketing costs, and counterfeit drugs. In fact, Africa accounts for 42% of the world's fake medicines, according to the WHO, a direct result of import over-reliance and weak regulatory systems. Now let's talk about the darker side of this story, fake medicine. Because when legitimate supply fails, the black market fills the gap. Fake medicines, also called substandard or falsified medicines, are drugs that contain wrong ingredients, contain little to no active ingredient at all, are incorrectly labeled, or are deliberately manufactured to deceive. Some are made in rogue factories, others are just bad copies, inauthentic packaging, expired chemicals, or no active ingredient at all. The consequences? Catastrophic. Fake medicines lead to treatment failure, toxic side effects, drug resistance, avoidable deaths. In one tragic case, in the Gambia, 66 children died in 2022 from contaminated cough syrup imported from overseas, later found to contain lethal levels of industrial solvents. According to the WHO, 1 in 10 medicines in low and middle income countries is either substandard or falsified, and Africa bears the largest share. But it doesn't have to be this way. The more a country makes its own medicine, the less it relies on unknown, unverified imports. And the stronger its pharmaceutical regulatory system becomes, local manufacturing is not just about access, it's about trust, it's about safety, and it's about saving lives. But things are changing slowly. Countries like Rwanda are taking bold steps like hosting BioNTech's mRNA vaccine facility, the first of its kind on the continent. Kenya announced a $500 million pharmaceutical manufacturing initiative aiming to make the country the regional hub for East Africa, but these efforts are still fragmented. The opportunity here is massive. East Africa's pharmaceutical market is projected to grow from $5.5 billion in 2022 to nearly $12 billion by 2030. The double-digit annual growth is driven by the population boom, urbanization, government-backed health insurance, increased in private health sector investment. There's room and a need to grow. To succeed, local manufacturing still needs more than just factories. Initiatives for local production, skills training for pharmacists, engineers, QC specialists, regional procurement hubs, technology transfer partnerships between China and India, green energy infrastructure to power plants to remain sustainable. Together, they could supply not only just their own markets, but the entire EAC bloc and beyond. Will East Africa continue to import 90% of its medicines forever? Or will it build the machinery to produce its own? The choice is industrial, it's political, and it's ethical. And it's urgent, because when the next pandemic hits, or the next crisis chokes the global supply chain again, it shouldn't be Geneva or Mumbai deciding who gets medicine. It should be Nairobi, Kampala, Kigali, Dar es Salaam, and Addis Ababa.